Donald Trump and Elon Musk were together as recently as just a few days ago in the Oval Office, where, of course, you'll remember Elon Musk was there. He had what appeared to be like a little bit of a black eye, and he had joked with reporters that his son X had given it to him. And then he joked and he said, "Oh, I wasn't in France," making reference to Brigitte Macron hitting Emmanuel Macron aboard that airplane there. And so, that was just a few days ago, and Donald Trump and Elon Musk, it seems, were totally civil with one another during that exchange. But it seems as if all of this is kind of stemming from the so-called big, beautiful bill that Donald Trump has tried to introduce and that has passed in the House of Representatives. It has not yet went to the Senate. But in essence, what it is just his kind of financial plan that he says is looking to lower taxes. But if you listen to the likes of Elon Musk, they say it's actually going to raise taxes for the average everyday American. Donald Trump is saying the only reason Elon Musk is upset with him and this bill in particular is because it is going to take out the EV mandate, essentially giving a certain amount of funding to companies like Tesla. So Donald Trump saying Elon Musk is frustrated over that. But now Elon Musk is kind of taking his frustration and broadening it out and making reference to things like the Epstein files, even going so far as to say that the reason Donald Trump has not unveiled these Epstein files is because Elon Musk feels as if he himself is in the Epstein files. So that's certainly one component of this. But I would say also, perhaps the most interesting component of this is usually whenever someone kind of faces the public humiliation after being fired or after resigning, and Donald Trump going after them on Truth Social and social media more broadly. Usually, the majority of Trump's supporters will rally behind him. Whereas this is a little bit different because people seem, at least some people, to be taking Elon Musk's side. Even the likes of Charlie Kirk from Turning Point USA, who famously has a very good relationship with Donald Trump, has come out and said, "Look, I like both of these two people. I know both of these two people, and I really hope that we can just kind of get the two of them on the phone, really, and kind of improve the state of this relationship."
Yeah, again, it's a pretty extraordinary public dispute. And some of the things Donald Trump said on Truth Social, he said that Elon was wearing thin. I asked him to leave. That gained my attention because when Elon officially left as a special government advisor, whatever the specific term is, that was at the end of a maximum tenure. There was actually,
Yeah.
he had to go at that point officially. But the way Trump's describing it there, and look, people will judge whether Donald Trump's being truthful or not for themselves. But he is suggesting there that he was growing tired of Elon, which does line up with a bunch of media reporting that we've seen over the past 100 days of Donald Trump's term as well. That, yeah, maybe there was, a bit of tension because Elon was just around the White House so much.
Hmm. Well, and you've certainly seen a lot of the kind of harsh feelings towards Elon Musk from a number of Donald Trump's inner circle. A number of them were talking off the record to various reporters, and they were coming out and they were saying how Elon Musk is being like essentially filling the role that someone like Susie Wiles should be filling, almost kind of like being the White House chief of staff himself. It is interesting, though, because, of course, as you point out, Elon Musk was stepping down from his role as the co-head of the Department of Government Efficiency because he had reached the end of the maximum tenure that you are allowed to serve as a special government employee. But similarly to what oftentimes happens whenever someone is resigning or let go by Donald Trump. Donald Trump likes to take credit for and kind of jump ahead and get ahead of the narrative by saying that he had let that person go. You saw a similar scenario with the likes of Kayleigh McEnany or John Bolton, like people who were very closely aligned with Donald Trump, very loyal to Donald Trump. And then after they left the White House and left kind of the Trump inner circle, now Donald Trump can't say a positive thing about any of them. And so maybe that's going to kind of work out the same way here with Elon Musk. You also, I mean, not to get too kind of conspiracy theorist-esque, if you will, but you have some people who are saying, maybe this is all part of a game. Maybe in a few weeks, Elon Musk and Donald Trump will be perfectly fine and they will be working together again in a different capacity. Not saying that's likely, but certainly something that some people have been hypothesizing might be a possibility.
And so, in terms of actual consequences from this, there's one thing having the public spat between Trump and Elon, but in terms of things this could affect, you had Trump obviously talking about terminating Elon's governmental and subsidies and contracts, which is significant. You, of course, now would not have. Elon publicly supporting Trump. That really doesn't matter when Trump, isn't ever running for election again. So that's maybe less of a fact. But yeah, what are some real world consequences we could see outside of Truth Social and Twitter?
I would say first that I think the opinion of the world's richest man certainly matters, and it did matter over the course of the election. Elon Musk himself is saying that if it wasn't for him, Donald Trump wouldn't have been able to win the most recent election, of course, in 2024. That's one component in all of this. You mentioned, of course, the possibility of Donald Trump terminating the contracts that the US government has with Elon Musk. But Elon Musk, again, trying to jump the narrative, he's already come out and himself said that he wants to be the one to voluntarily cancel some of these contracts, basically saying, I'm the world's richest man. I don't need these contracts. The only reason I'm going through with them is to be of support to the United States and to the United States government. But perhaps kind of the biggest political implication in all of this is the weight that Elon Musk carries, in the sense of you had Elon Musk posting on Twitter suggesting it would be a good idea to impeach Donald Trump and allow Vice President J.D. Vance to take over. So, I mean, there's a lot of kind of moving parts to all of this. We're going to see how it all unfolds, certainly, but I do think that it is worth noting that when you have the world's richest man, who just a week ago was perhaps one of the greatest supporters, most closely aligned people to Donald Trump, and now they are in this big public fight and dispute, I don't know how it'll play out. Certainly, I don't think it'll translate very well. And it is interesting because you had a lot of people, even, dating back 6 months ago, a year ago, and over the course of the election campaign, even, who were suggesting that the relationship between Elon Musk and Trump was the only thing allowing Elon Musk to keep kind of close proximity to him, because all of his advisors were vehemently opposed to having this relationship move forward. So that perhaps just kind of furthers this, that, maybe Trump's advisors eventually got around to him and were able to convince him that Elon Musk is, quote unquote, bad news for this administration.